Hey guys, welcome back. And let's see what we've got here. Yep, I haven't spoken yet, so I was literally just waiting for everybody to join, and I just grab a glass of water. So I'm sure you guys can hear me now. All right, cool. Let's have a look. I don't have my face up yet. I'll bring it up a bit later. I just want to show you guys the full chart. Alright, so aim was, there was a nice short here. This is a 5 minute. I'll zoom into the 1 minute in a minute. Alright, so we got a nice short down here, and that was the target to bounce from. We get a perfect bounce from there, and then our target was up here. We never made it to that. So for me, it's important to see what we're doing where we are right now. And I think what we're going to see is maybe some, let's see if we can invert this fair value gap, and then let's make it a real fair value gap. Alright, and see if we can actually break below that to go lower and then challenge this low again. Alright, let's go to the, sorry guys, let me just pop into the hourly and see what's happening here. Alright, so what you see here is obviously a high, a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, run those lows, higher high, higher low. So we could see a bounce here to take that 50% where we originally targeted, and then maybe see some sort of a sell. Well, I don't know if we're going to see a sell-off from there, but that's what we need to look at. So far we in an OTE type of scenario here, but we need to see what we do in the 1 minute on that fair value gap. Alright, so now we're just going to keep an eye and see what transpires here. We are below the first fair value gap that formed today, and but now we're stuck between two fair value gaps, which is normally not the ideal place to trade in. What you want to do is wait and see for price, obviously, to either run liquidity on one side and then break the other one, or vice versa. Alright, so for now let's just have a look and see what presents itself here. So let me jump around here. Alright, let's just keep an eye here. Not in a hurry to take any trades here, guys. Alright, so yeah, so not in a hurry at all. We've got to break through those two fair value gaps to give me some sort of a sense where we're going. Let me go to 15 minutes quick here. I'll tell you why I think we're going to bounce here. If you look at these lows here, got taken and then displace higher, and now it's just a retracement back to this fair value gap. And for those of you who like to trade OTEs, that's under the 50, so this is in a nice discount to bounce from. And where you want to go target is definitely this 50% here. It can go higher, but that's the obvious place where price should draw to. Alright, so I'm in semi-long mindset here, and let's see if we can do what we did in the AM session to crack a nice profitable trade today. Alright, I don't know, you guys in the chats, what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to go up, or we're going to break lower? Alright, so we've got an indecisive here. Yeah, we got to see. I need to see what happens between. Look, I don't like small candles creeping up to a fair value gap and then break it. That's not ideal for me. I like something to run a liquidity and reject and invert quite quickly, then I know I'm on site. So if this breaks up to go higher, I can tell you guys there's nothing A plus about this, and I might not even take a trade. I might just sit and you know, just read price for you guys. So what I can tell you, this high here, that's a swing high, and if you look at this white candle, we didn't close above it, we just pin through it and then reject it lower. So I would keep an eye on this high and this low here. If we aggressively close below it, then I think we're going lower. If we aggressively close above that, again, not A plus, but then I would try a long here and try to take maybe this gaps here before I go even higher. So let's see for now. I mean, because we rejected that swing high there, I could possibly think that this swing low here, or even this one here, we might challenge that. Even if we're still going to go higher, I mean, we can use this to spike through it and then go shift to the other side again, or just close right through it and drop. I mean, those are just different, all kinds of scenarios, and that's the thing with trading. You've got to build scenarios and say, all right, if this, then that, if that, then this, and then you have to stick to it and keep an eye. There's no point in saying if we close above here, it's maybe just a trick to go short. I mean, I've seen this too many times when we close above, you know, certain swing points to get those scalp moves in that direction, that I would take a trade like that. And if it's presenting itself in a A plus fashion, then it's even better. Right, so I think if we go through this, I don't like to mark gaps out like this. These two candles, I like to see one, but I'm just marking both of them because there's liquidity right there. So if we break through it, we might see a stop there and come down, or break through and go higher. Alright, so as you can see, I'll just make it bigger for you. That swing point there, that all of these are holding, no bodies are closing above it. That tells me we might want to challenge these lows lower. Right, let's see. If we close below this low, I think we're going to go to the next low here. And let's just mark it out. Okay, so there we close. And that's what I would do. I would just take a short here. And I would just target the next low. Let's try to squeeze out 500 here. Okay. Again, guys, nothing A plus here. I'm just, there's momentum through that low, so could possibly try to trap people in breaking and spiking through this low. if it closes strongly below that, then we might see price go lower here. I mean, we can actually put a 1-to-1 to this. Probably going to get stopped on this one. Okay, we're out. Alright, so if we invert this little gap here, then we might see something going higher here, and I'm referring to this, which is now a FVG. Guys, the account I'm trading is a paper trade account, so don't get too excited. It's not financial advice of any sorts. See what I mean? Trading between two fair value gaps, never a good idea. I mean, even if this IFVG works out here, it's bouncing off this fair value gap, you can say. It's still stuck between these two. You want to see this thing invert this, then I'll long it. And then we'll target up here. I mean, that was a good entry. Again, this 50% of this first fair value gap is holding price pretty solidly. I'm not saying it's going to hold it there forever, but let's see. And if you really look at all these pins here, this gap here, it's holding everybody pretty tight there within this first fair value gap. So I'm seeing this as a potential breaking area to target lower, but I think if we then invert this fair value gap, then we might see a push lower here. Okay, moving sideways here. All right, let's see if we can get through this first fair value gap to go higher or boom, lower. See a nice solid close above that line. If it closes above this first fair value gap, that's even better. Let's see if that candle is going to give us what we want, or is it just there to take us for a ride. Okay, let's try it. Okay, let's see. This black candle should hold price here. Guys, it didn't form any fair value gaps. Let's see if this FVG holds price here. Maybe not what we want to see now. See if we can get this candle to close up above this and not below this point here. Okay, let's see if that 50% will hold price here. Alright, let's take this off here because that's not working. It's obviously got something else in mind here. Maybe what we'll see is a push through all of this and then bounce to go up again. The reason I close up here, guys, is these three candles made a swing low. We broke through it, so I just collapsed it because like now we've closed below it, so the next target would be this one down here. If we close below that, then we'll go for all of this down here. And I'm taking this off because now it's confusing. If this little gap holds, that's probably an entry to short to take it down there. Don't want to draw too many boxes, but just to show you this box here, this is an entry box for me, this candle to dip into it and then go lower here. And the reason I'm marking this out is because of this swing low there got violated by this big candle, leaving a fair value gap. So fair value gap violated this. So in theory, what you want to see is price to go in there to tap in for like a very, you know, if price go there, that should hold price because you close below that and you are targeting this low now. So that would be a place of interest to look for shorts. Obviously this is not a thing to use randomly. If you got a real reason for price to go in a direction and you want to know which fair value gaps hold and which ones don't, this is the this is the setup that should hold. So as you can see, it just barely tapped in there. I don't know if that can be seen as like equal lows. Right, let's see. Alright, if you close below this line, a solid candle like that leaves a fair value gap. That would be nice to test, and then this lows would be next. Right, so those of you who likes to trade flags, bear flags and bull flags, push down, up, 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 that's top of a bear flag, create that swing or that push through to push lower and target this low here. Could potentially measure it, and it would, I'm not trading this way, but if there are people trading like this is how it will work, and then you plug it there. So you could expect potentially for price to go down to that level. That's just a measured move, but I mean I used to trade measured moves like this, but I'm not trading like that anymore. Alright, so now we've got this black candle close below this. So now the opportunity would be to take a short here and target something down here. I mean, we can even do that. Most probably gonna just rally up here because I took a trade. So remember, this fair value gap has not been tapped yet, and this could quite easily go all the way there. And if you measure it, you'll see 50% is here, and that fair value gap is a nice premium. So that is the right place to actually sell this. And we've got equal lows here, which is also something to keep an eye out for. These equal lows, right at this fair value gap's 50%. So let's see what's happening up here, if we can get that push lower. Keep just notice that these highs here, none of them are swing highs. So there's nothing here to base anything off to trail any stops if you took a short up here. So this high here should hold, but now we're back in this range again with equal lows here. So we either gonna, I don't know, we'll have to see here. I'm just taking that straight off because it makes no sense here now. Yeah, so I think the first rule I can tell you guys, what I said when we started with the stream, is we caught between two fair value gaps. All right. You saw what's happening if you trade between the two fair value gaps. You get stop out left, right, and center. All right. We have to break through one of the two, right? Now we know there's a buy if we come back and test here. I'll put it in place there because this will most probably just work out to go all the way to the 50% there. But let's see if we can get a decent entry for this. And bear in mind we've got equal lows down here, and this is at 385. So I'll be surprised to see this go and run these lows now. I think we might go up first and leave those for later. And if you trade outside these fair value gaps, you've got a better chance of success than in this mess down here. So let's see what we can get. See if we can get this push lower. Okay, so we're in the fair value gap, but it's not picking me up. Come on, pick me up before you go. Okay, so guess it's one of those things. This gap here, we did tap into it. I thought we can test this first fair value gap at least, but I'll take that off. But we did test it twice. Doesn't have to go all the way to this first fair value gap, but it is always good to try to get a decent entry at the 50% mark. Not that my entry sits at the 50% mark, but let's see, maybe okay, so there we go, we are. Now let's see if we can go all the way to there now, or are we just going to continue all the way down here? I mean, if you really look at this, this is not the ideal place to get long. Down here is, which is this gap here. That's the ultimate gap to get entered into your position. But if we go up here now and close above here, I'll move my stop to break even, or I'll put the stop to break even and try to hold it all the way to that 50% up there. And if we go obviously through this, we could go all the way to our target up here. I'm just pushing my target out because I want to see what's happening here now. We made us, well, busy making a swing low here. See if we're going to close above that and see if we can get some sort of momentum to the upside. Okay, let's see. Just gonna put my stop there, $200. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna close above the swing high, so I'm expecting price to go higher here. Alright, these two black candles here hopefully should hold price. Now that we break in, can come and test that to go higher. The swing low here should hold price, unless we want to go all the way down to this gap here and then go higher. Alright, so next level is that to break through and close above. Okay, let's see if we can get it. See if we're going to get it. Quickly, let's see. Alright guys, if you like the stream, don't forget to pop me a like there. It obviously help with the YouTube algo to get more people to come and look at my content. So for those of you who already liked it, thanks. Greatly appreciate it. And now let's see if the market's going to appreciate my entries. Alright. let's see. It's a little bit stuck here, so we broke this high, close above it, and now we're going to a little bit in a sideways move here. There's no gap here to see price spike in it to take any lows out. There's a swing low here, and I mean, if this thing really want to pull back, then this block here, that's probably the best place to go back and do your pullbacks. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so now we get some movement through those highs. Let's see if we can close above there. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put my stop there. Reason being is there's a low there. Hopefully this is a fair value gap to hold price to go higher. Pretty much the end of the day. I don't expect quick moves. We're at a decent AM session, so now we're trying to see if we can get some sort of a good PM session out of this session. Alright, so let's see. Alright, so guys, there's the line, there's the fair value gap that we've been talking about. There we go. That line should hold price. I'm going to take this one off to show you exactly. See if we can get that bounce. That's our next high. Okay, so want to see that blue block hold price and nobody's close below it. Can spike through it. I'm leaving my stop here, guys, because we've got this swing point here with that shift to break that structure. We've got a swing point here. I don't think this will go all the way down there. If it does, then so be it, then I was wrong. But normally it's just, you know, these swing points is what's holding price, and we could get big moves like this and then just spike back and close within that blue block and then continue going into that direction. We just close outside of this. This is where I would normally collapse the trade if I entered up here. But because I'm in profit here, I'm just going to leave it and see if this candle wants to go higher from here. And if it stops me out there, which I think it most probably will, then it's fine. It's still a positive number. Okay, so let's see. What time frame are you looking on? I'm trading on 1 minute. charts. Alright, so I'm trading on a 1 minute chart, but that doesn't mean I do everything here. So just so you know, so I go on bigger time frames, and okay, so that is no longer, so I'm going to take this off because otherwise we've got too many drawings here, and I think this is what's going to potentially send price higher. It's maybe this block here. Alright, so I'll start as high as the 1 week, the weeklies, to get some key levels. Then I'll drop it down to 1 hour to see what it looks like there, and I will then move my way down to the 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and then obviously on the day, on the session, once I've got my mind set up. So to give you an example, this level here, which is the, what is this, 679 level, this is a 4 hour, this big block is a fair value gap, and let me actually jump there to show you guys. Alright, so I've got this big fair value gap here, and what I said earlier today in AM, we have not, between this candle and this candle, we have not full this inefficiency here. So I'm expecting that we might see run this liquidity down here, bounce there, and run to the 50%. We bounce exactly from there. We just missed the 50%, and as you can see, we spiked to the top and to the bottom. That's a little bit of a sideways move to me. So if we continue higher, we're most probably going to go to that 50%, which is the original 679 level, unless we get a aggressive breakdown to go lower here. But I think that's the target. And at this point in time on this 4 hour chart, because we have not broken above this inverted fair value gap, I'm still bearish. I'm going to keep my bias bearish. But on a 1 minute time frame, I'm slightly bullish to get to that 50%. But the minute we get there, I need to see if we're going to push higher to close above this fair value gap. And, then we've got equal highs up here to target later if we want to break above this to continue higher. But for now, we're below it. That's where I need to stick my bias to. But within that bias, in a 1 minute, it's obviously other factors I'm looking at, like we've got equal lows here. There's liquidity, but we're gradually moving a bit higher. We did say we're going to target these two gaps up here. It's liquidity. Now we want to see if we want to break higher, close above this high. I reckon we can go higher here. But if we can't get through this high closing above it, I think we might come down to this equal lows. So let's just see. That's a little bit of a mouthful here, but hopefully that answers the question on what time frame I'm looking at. Equal highs, equal lows. Yeah, there's some equal lows there, but there's liquidity on the top side as well, and I'll show you guys. It's a high, it's a lower low, lower highs, lower highs, lower lows. So this is all liquidity building up here. So we could see this thing bounce down and then rally up, but I'm not telling you where the market's going to go right away. That's why we need to follow price as it goes. Okay, I think this was just some sort of a pullback here, and I think we will see the close above this soon. I don't think we're going to get all the way down here, so let's keep that up there for now. Okay, let's get back to business. Let's see. Price is a bit slow, but that's understandably. Alright, 1 minute bearish FVG, fair value gap. I mean, I assume you're looking at this type of thing, something like this. Yeah, I think we're gonna break this high and close above that. That's what I'm aiming at, just because of some momentum. Looks like there's momentum to the upside here, and yeah, let's just keep an eye on that, because if we close there, I think we could go up there. If we spike and pull back, then we could, you know, look at something to here, or even this equal lows down here. But for now, I'm watching to see what's happening at this high. As you can see, we're breaking higher, and see if you close that pin under that line, that's a little bit of a problem, because that could turn around here and go back down, or right, let's see. I mean, in one place I think could hold price is this level here, this block. If it holds and bounce, continue higher, I would then look for that high to get close aggressively. But obviously if we invert this, then you might want to look at these lows, even these equal lows down here. Gotta wait for the candle to close, guys. I'm in 2 months here, that if this was a real FVG, and we ran this liquidity, spike outside of this gap, invert this fair value gap. Let's make it the right color, which is orange. Okay, so you guys probably wondering, so why aren't you taking the trade? Well, I've got other things that I look at as well outside of this, and at this point in time it's not lining up, so it makes it a bit tricky for me. to actually take a trade. I'm worried that we can go invert to the top side again. There's no real gaps here to bounce from. This was the one to bounce from. Well, let's just see what it does. If bearish is the move, guys, you got another nice fair value gap in here. And I know it's too many blocks here, but there's a little gap in that FVG. As you can see, we could most probably invert that again. And that is the one thing I'm worried about. Which we are doing now. Let's take a trade here. Let's do this. Let's put a stop here. And then let's try to get something up here. Not sure if it will work, but let's give it a go. I know you want to push higher. No, you want to push up, not down. Okay, let's see. Someone's giving us a tip. Okay, so 1 p.m. high is up here. This one here, and that lines up with the liquidity. That's forming, you know, lower highs here. I'm just trying to think. I still think the 679 level is going to be my target. Even if we go higher, I'll try to push it a bit. I mean, we can push it and see, and you know, trade it as we see it plays out. $6.79. All right, let's see. Okay, Let's see if we're gonna get that push up here. Look, this obviously is creating liquidity on this side as well, and yeah, so never forget that. And obviously we've got nice equal lows down here that we could also return back to. But let's see, nice big black candle here that could hold price. But yeah, keep an eye here. I think price most probably gonna gradually move, and maybe like last week, getting to the last minute of the day, then we see price moving faster. Okay, let's see. Not rushing it. Right, let's see if we can break higher. Pretty small price moves now, so it's not in a hurry to get to where we wanted to go to, so you know, feels right. So let me just take my face off here for a second to show you guys. So we've got this little gap up here where we obviously struggling now, then it was these gaps down here, and this could potentially go test this gap here. This lines up with this black candle here. Hopefully it holds price. So let's see. Yep, that's not a good sign. I think that's gonna possibly send price lower. Okay, I'm just closing it at a small loss here. Okay. Okay, let's okay. Alright, now we're inverting this again to go higher. As you can see, we bounce from this, inverting that. Probably going to give a nice push up here. Let's take it and hold it. It's fine, I'm just going to leave it there. I need to see this get violated down here to actually go, but I'm looking for these highs up here, and then we can go higher, but these equal highs, that's what I think we would go to, and then ultimately going to our target of that 50% of that fair value gap. Let's see if we're going to push up here. Make that a round number to 3,000, that's fine. Right, so let's see if we can do this. Can you push it all the way, or what is your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan, man? Right, let's make some Right, let's see if we can get this now. Why do I think we'll get this now? Alright, so the discount is gonna be down here if we really want to push it up. And the other thing is we're getting close to that. Well, we're not there yet, but what time is it now? Alright, we've got about 25 minutes, but 15 minutes to get into that macro time. And it seems like we're going to get to these, you know, where my stop is where those equal highs are. And yeah, I don't know if we're going to push through it to push higher, or we're going to just reject, come back down. I think because this is a swing low here, I'm just going to put my stop at break even here. I want to see this thing go higher first. Okay, let's see if we can get it now. Turu. It's sometimes painful to sit and watch price going up and coming down, coming up, coming down. Like I said, this black candle here should hold price. And these three candles made a swing low, so I'm going to keep my stop there and see if we want to bounce from here to go higher. Gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Push up, push up. Up, up, up. Don't stuff around down here. Close below, above that high. If we close obviously above this swing point here, then I'll sure we're gonna get close to that. We need to close above that line. Alright, so we're targeting these equal highs here. Maybe put a line there. It's relatively equal high, and that's where we target to go to. And now we want to see a nice big candle close above here and then push higher. Push over it and close over it. Push higher. Don't pin like that. Bum, bum, bum. Right, so obviously this has changed now to that. Let's see if we can get there. Go on, stop pinning to these levels. Push up. Up, baby, up. Show me how you can push through that roof. Come on. Be nice to just get a nice big fat white candle. Refuse to get through those highs. That doesn't mean it's going to turn and go short. As you can see. Push, push, push. Okay, so now we've closed above those highs with a nice candle, so we could come back and fill this little white body and then continue higher. Ta-ta-ra-ta-tum. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so when we get close to that line, I don't want to see small candles get through it. I want to see get close to it and boom, punch through it, and then either continue or pull back. Okay, so now we're getting momentum here, which is great. Guys, we're getting close to the macro, which is going to run next 4 minutes or start. And I'm afraid if we're trying to get through those highs now, before then, we might see a big sell-off come into 1550. The only reason I say that is we've got all this liquidity, you know, that we're targeting here, and we could see a push up now and then boom, down, or we just see the push up and do whatever it needs to do up there. But we've got all this liquidity down here, so I won't be surprised if we go boom and then big sell-off type of thing. Will it happen? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I've seen these things play out before, so let's keep that in mind and see how we're gonna handle, or how the market's gonna handle this. Okay, now I want to see a big push. Not a struggle, big push. Yeah, that's not ideal. But let's see if we can get that big push. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to macro time. It's actually going to take it off here, $2,000. I don't know if that little spike, I've seen it before, just before macro, and then preparing some big dump here. And that's not what I want to do. Alright, so this whole session, I'm pretty much break even. And I think getting to a break even is probably much better than taking a loss. So tomorrow's another day, guys, and we live to see tomorrow and trade and see what trade opportunity presents itself tomorrow. So no need to rush these things, and as long as you got a good decent strategy that you can obviously follow and feel comfortable with and know it like your child. Okay, there's that push. Remember what I said, this is macro time now, so let's see where it's going. That would have been my $3,000, which is fine, but I made a decision to get out, so see if it wants to reverse or run till 679 target. Okay, so we pinning below that swing out there. So I think this thing is gonna go that way, south. But let's see. Let us see. Maybe I'm wrong, which is fine. I don't have a trade on, so can be wrong. Right. Now we're stuck there, but right, so let me recap something quickly here. I want to show you guys something. Now we know, obviously, we know there was liquidity here, we know there's liquidity there, and we know there was a little bit of a mess down here, but then we started to move in a direction. Every time you do that, you know where market is most likely drawn to. You just find swing points and wait for fair value gaps to close above that, and wait for price to test it to go higher. And I mean, inverted fair value gaps, like this is an inversion, inverted fair value gaps. But once you see that, unfolds, like yeah, there's a swing high, we close above it, it went up, that's a scalp. You could wait for a pullback, but then you got the low, yeah, that's your protective low. And then it continues, then you target the next high. Same thing, we break above it, we came down, that's a stop that should hold. This is probably not the best entry, but we're going higher. Here we close, yeah, that's the fair value gap, we've gone in there, and we close higher there. Alright, so price come back, test this block, there's no fair value gap. You can wait for those tests to take you up into those places that you're targeting. And here you can see, I actually want to see if we're going to get to my daily target, which was up here. Let's see if we can get here. Be great if we can hit that 679 or 680 at least, doesn't matter, because that was the target from AM. We just missed it. If you look to the left here, we went to 644. I want to see if we can go to 679. We've run liquidity here, so we closed above this high, and now there's a fair value gap that's probably going to form here, and we might see price come dip into it or just rally up and go to that 50%. If it doesn't happen now, it most definitely, I think, gonna happen in the later stages of today, maybe Asia, I don't know. Also good to mark out these highs to see if this high stop right there to create equal highs, then come down, and then there's some nice liquidity if that's the case. So let's see. Alright, so no, I'm not. It's all free. Alright, so just to answer that question, am I selling a course? Unfortunately, I don't have a course. I guess my course would be my live streams. I can definitely run through my strategies. There's different strategies. My main thing is I trade liquidity, and obviously I look at certain ways the market, obviously tell you where we're going to go, where it's going to support price, or to block price based on fair value gaps and inverted fair value gaps. Those are the main things that I use to trade. And if you stick around for obviously the live sessions, I can break it down. I call it live, and obviously if there's anything specific that you feel you're not quite sure of or you want to learn, happy for you guys to pop it in the comments when we live, or even after I'm live, just to pop it in the comments. I read it, I respond to it, and yeah, it gives me a good reason to create some content while we're live, and then we can see how we do it. The other thing I want to show you guys while we wait for this, seeing that we've got some new people here, I want to show you guys how the AM session played out, and that's part of the strategy set. Alright, so look, before this, I don't want to do a replay. Alright, so before 9:30 this morning, we had equal lows marked out here, and that was my liquidity. Price were up here, and I was like, okay, so let's see what happens when 9:30 came. 9:30 came, and it went down, and it stopped right at that line, creating and validate. We've got nice equal lows, and then price run higher. This gray block here is literally taking the 9:30 candle, and between the 9:30 and 9:45, that is your first 15 minutes. I mark out the highest high and the lowest low, and in this case it lined up with those equal lows. That to me told me that is the liquidity we're gonna seek. And then price went through the highs, which was fine. And then this candle here created the first fair value gap, which is the purple block. And if you stick around in my live sessions, we go through this on a daily basis. So if it's a bit over the top right now, just come back tomorrow and we'll ask questions, and we'll go through it again. All right, then we see a nice candle invert this. That I've already got the confidence that I'm going to go down here. So I want to see this get inverted. I saw it on that white candle, and I think I can actually show you guys, so you don't think I'm talking nonsense. Alright, so we short the market here. We target this lows. That was that spike there. That's where I closed my position. And then we marked out more liquidity, and this blue block, another fair value gap, and I said we might bounce there. We bounced there exactly, and we went all the way up, and the 50% was this 679 up here, and we just missed it and all the way down. And then that's where we were, or that's where we are in the basically in the PM session. So those of you that's new, I try to trade all the AM sessions and use this first 15 minutes to construct some sort of a trade with liquidity, and then I come in in the PM sessions as well. This week particularly it's a bit of a dangerous week because of NFP later this week. Just be careful. But these are the things we're going to go through while I stream live, and hopefully you learn something from that, and see if we all can make money and learn something. Obviously not financial advice, guys. This is just me trying to document everything I do and how I learn and interpret the market, and hopefully I can do the same from you guys. Alright guys, I think that is it from my side today. We didn't get to that target which I was hoping we're going to get to. We might get there after I stop the stream. So obviously thanks guys for your support. Thanks for checking in, people engaging on the live chats, and I'm glad to see people took some nice trades today, and just be careful next couple of days, but I'll be back with you guys tomorrow in the AM session and then PM session after that. So if there's any questions that comes to mind, bring it tomorrow. Let's look at it, and let's engage more. Alright guys, take care and have a great day. Bye bye.